everyone. Welcome to the Walk and Talk to End Social Isolation 2020. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Apek, and I'll be one of your co hosts for this amazing event. And I also have Arya with me here, who is also your co host, and he's waving. So, before we get started with the program, we want to let you know that this event is being recorded and is live right now on YouTube. And we'll be taking screenshots throughout the afternoon. So, for your privacy, if you're not okay with having your name shared in public, we recommend that you use a pseudonym or a fake name in the Zoom call, or just use like a background picture. And if you're not okay with sharing your face here or on our social media pages, feel free to just turn off your video. And please also mute your audio to ensure that we have no interruptions and we can all hear everyone. And lastly, in order for you to win our lineup of fantastic raffle prizes, you have to register on Eventbrite. The suggested donation is $20, but you can give whatever you want. The minimum is $1, and you can check the chat for the registration link. So now I will pass my fake mic to Arya.
Thank you so much for the fake mic, Apek. Like Apek said, my name is Arya and I will be your second co-host for this afternoon. And I'd love to welcome you to Walk and Talk 2020. We'd like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for taking part in Walk and Talk and for the impact that you've created by doing so. Now, like we repeatedly emphasize, social isolation and loneliness are both issues that tend to be evasive, mostly because of the stigma that surrounds the idea. And in participating in Walk and Talk this year, in sharing our experiences and thoughts surrounding social isolation and loneliness, what we've done is we've told people that it's all right to feel that way sometimes. It's all right to actually seek out help. There's no stigma that needs to surround it or anything like that. And so we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for taking part in Walk and Talk. To celebrate the impact, today we have a series of events and invigorating speakers lined up alongside a wonderful raffle that Apek had mentioned earlier as well. So to start us off today, we have our very own Pux, who will be giving us a live performance. Pux is a West Coast folk acoustic guitar singer, and he's renowned for his banjo picking. But now he's started spending more time sharing his own music, and that's what he'll be doing for us today. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Pux, please.
Thanks very much. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to be taking part in this because it's a pretty important year for this message, and going to be sharing a couple songs that kind of relate. This one's called "Take a Little Time." Going in circles, you've been there before. You don't always hear all the knocks on your door. Searching for answers and yearning for more. Too many balls up in the air, they'll all fall to the floor. Take a little time, find a little love. Take a look around you for something from above. Have a little faith, enjoy the ride. We're going there together. We'll leave it all behind. Life ain't always as it seems. We can't agree to disagree. But if you do you and I do me, oh, we'll meet somewhere in between. Oh, when I'm up and you are down, I'll help you get up off the ground. 'Cause when I was lying in the streets, you took me in, put me on my feet. Take a little time, find a little love, and take a look around you. There's something from above. Have a little faith, enjoy the ride. We're going there together. We'll leave it all behind. There you go. Thank you very much. I can see you applauding there. I can't hear it, but I can see it. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I got another one for you. This one's it's kind of about friendship, so take a listen here. I want you to know that you're my friend. I'll be with you until the end. Since days of old, we still shine. We play all nights, the best of times. Oh, but where will we go? Will we even know? Oh, we'll become one. But I will sure miss all the fun. Oh, oh. We might not get another day as we approach our parting ways. But I'll see you on the other side. And in our hearts where we reside. Oh, where will we go? Will we even know? Oh, we'll become one. But I will miss all the fun. Will we even know? Or we'll become one. But I'll sure miss all the fun. Oh, 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 oh. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. And a big shout out to my buddy Steve, who's helping us out here doing a remote mix from the Slanted Room Studios. And thanks very much, everybody, for giving me the chance to share this with you guys on this really cool event here. Beyond the Conversation. Much love.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Bob,
Fox.
for that amazing performance. Now, I do agree. I mean, we all tend to be in such a rush that we don't really take the time to check things out around us and to make connections with other people. So that music was very, very relevant. Now, I would like to share Fox's content. You can find him on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/audio illumination and also on Instagram at instagram.com/Puxtralia. I'll put both the links in the chat for anyone who'd like to check it out. And if you want to say something to Pux, thank him for his performance, the chat is open for access. So thank you so much for your performance today, Pux. I really loved it.
Thank you so much, Pux, for that incredible performance. We all absolutely loved it. And keep the emoji reactions coming, everyone. It's just so nice to see everyone interactive here. Now I want to take a moment to actually recognize our sponsors for today's event, the Walk and Talk 2020. So Beyond the Conversation would like to thank GNF Financial Group, Nestor's Market, Forerunners, Cactus Cup Cafe, and last but not the least, Ernest Ice Cream. I also want to mention again that we are fundraising for this event. So if you want to donate, please do so through Eventbrite, and the link will be written in the chat box so you can find it there. And you can also find it at our website, www.beyondtheconversation.ca. Please make sure to do this before our break, because if you're registered, you'll also be eligible for a raffle draw, which will be happening later today, so stay tuned. So next, we have a very important and loved member of our BTC team who has an incredible story to share with you all and open up this event. I would like to introduce the ball of energy that is Dee. Claps and emojis.
Hi guys, hi. So yeah, welcome to isolation. Who doesn't know isolation by now? Not what you thought 2020 would be all about, right? So I guess we're all isolated. This is so ironic. We're all supposed to be kind of like isolating, keeping distance, but yet we're all coming together, even in isolation, to come together and engage. Like awesome, right? We just can't isolate in isolation. All right, well, let me tell you a bit about myself. So why am I here? Because I myself went through a lot of years of isolation. For 4 years, 4 days, I couldn't actually leave my house. I would stay in my house and not be able to even turn the door handle and go out because I had some fear about what was on the other side. And what was on the other side was probably like the unknown, or people not saying hello to you or not seeing you or walking right by you, full in the city. People don't see you sometimes. So and also I was working in downtown housing the homeless, and those are the people you never see, and I was trying to make people see them, get them housing, get them food, get them shelter. And great job, but it burns you out trying to do so much for everybody else. So yeah, I burned out. I stayed in my house where it was safe. No one was dying there or drug overdoses, or people weren't ignoring me there. And so, yeah, I stayed there for quite a few years. And then, yeah, I found art. Art was what actually got me out of my house. A few elderly ladies up in Pitts Meadow said, come on out and do some art with us. And it was a craft I knew, it was rug hooking. So I went out there and I did that out there, and they took me in and told me I was an artist. I said, what? I just draw circles and triangles and legs for bodies, and that's what I do. I'm not really an artist. They go, no, your art is good. You see color. So I started feeling good about myself and went out there and put my art out and started spray painting everywhere. And I said, no, can't be doing that because I'm gonna have to go to jail for spray painting all these wonderful logos everywhere. So I actually did yarn bombing. And now that I've been putting up words of such things as you're not alone, be kind, see me, you're okay, people are actually honking me and saying, hi, that's awesome, thank you. Now I put hearts up all over the city. I've gotten grants for it. I've got Melody Mark to do work for me. I'm on CTV News. Like, things are just soaring. So what I say about when you're in this kind of isolation or depression, what you got to do is do what you do best. If you do art, you do it till everybody sees you. You know, if you play music, play, and cry on your guitar. You know, I did comedy, and to lighten all this up a bit, I'll just give you a few things I would say out there. It's like living in Vancouver and being Black. Oh, let me tell you, can we go there? You know, when I would say things like, when white people say get angry, they go red. When they get sick, they go yellow. When they get bruised, they get blue. When they get envious, they get green. When they tan, they go brown. And they have the nerve to call me colored? Like, really? Yeah, so those are the kind of things I felt and things I would say to kind of get myself out of these grumpy moods. And yes, I did stand-up comedy. You know, I'd hang out at Yuck Yucks and I did comedy. And now I'm trying to share that love with you with logos and yarn bombing all over the city. And, you know, you should come out if you're feeling isolated or you just want to get out and see some good art. I'm down there on 12th and Commercial. I'm all on the Grandview and Commercial. I'm on Kingsway. You'll see my art out there, to be kind, to see each other, you know, to lift each other up. Yeah. All we want is validation. That's all we want, to be seen, right? So yeah, look for my art and continue with the show. I'm going to some few really good lineups, and I hope I lighten your mood. I made you think, and you know, yeah. Let's look out for each other. All right, thanks.
Round of applause of emoji reactions, everyone. Thank you so much, Dee, for sharing your story and always like just making us laugh all the time and just putting smiles on your faces. We really appreciate you. And if you also would like to thank Dee and share your thoughts, please do so in the chat section. I'm sure Dee would really appreciate all of your love. And also check her artwork around Vancouver.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Dee. Honestly, a little side note, I realized my finance professor actually owns Yuck Yucks, but that's something that I'll talk to you about on another day. For now, thank you so much for your speech. Dee's story is truly inspirational in that she turned her, let's say, weakness, for lack of a better word, into a strength, and she brings smiles to other people's faces through what she does. And so, you know, every time I see Dee, I'm reminded of the fact that I haven't face the kind of struggles she has, and if she can keep a smile on her face, then I don't have any right to not do that. Thank you so much, Dee. Now, our next speaker this afternoon is Canada's first seniors advocate. And in being Canada's first seniors advocate, she's obviously a pioneer in the field of social change. So please help me in welcoming Isabel McKenzie, ladies and gentlemen. A huge round of applause, please.
Needs to unmute. There we go. The host needs to unmute me. So thank you very much. And I have to say that I've got my speaker view gallery on here, and I don't see everybody, but most of the faces that I see are quite young or younger than me. And so it is very inspirational to see so many young people interested in hearing about seniors. And that is something that I think is very important as we look at what is the isolation and loneliness and breaking down some of those stereotypes and barriers for the senior citizens that live in Canada. And, you know, one of the things that there's many upsides that we will be able to look back and see from this COVID pandemic experience. And one of them, I think, will be that many, many people who might not otherwise have understood what isolation and loneliness feels like may have developed a greater understanding of it and a greater empathy for those who experience it in their lives. And that is because suddenly those who don't understand what it's like to, either in the case of mental health issues and depression, not want to go out, or in the case of many of our seniors, not be able to go out or not be able to go out with assistance. They don't understand what that's like to be confined day after day and week after week. Now, almost every Canadian knows what that experience is like. And so with having lived through a common experience, we develop empathy. And I think that that is the basic foundation that we all need in order to address isolation and loneliness for seniors. So I was listening to Dee and I was writing down one of her she was talking about when she goes out and, I just want people to see me and want validation. And really that is what older adults want. And so one of the things that happens when we get older that causes many older adults, seniors, to feel lonely or to feel isolated is that people don't see them anymore, or they only see them as an old person. And they don't see them for the abilities that they have. They only see them for the disabilities that they have. They don't see what they can do. They only see what they can't do. They don't think about the experience and the life of lifelong perspective that they have on things. There are many aspects of this pandemic that have disproportionately affected seniors in a negative way. I mean, we've all heard about what's happened in many of our long-term care homes. In fact, I'm spending the weekend in my office writing a report about the impact of visit restrictions as an example. But here's the other thing that's interesting. When we've done some national studies about the mental health impacts of COVID-19, around these impacts of isolation and loneliness, actually older adults seem to have fared a little better through this pandemic. And that's for a couple of reasons. One is perspective. When you've been through 85 years of life, you've had a lot thrown at you. And you know that you've come out the other side, and oftentimes, not always, you come out better on the other side. And so there is that sense of wisdom that comes with age, something we're not very good at respecting. The other reason why they might fare a little better is because for them, unfortunately, the isolation that we were forced to endure at the very beginning of the pandemic, when all of us were asked to shelter at home, didn't represent much of a change for them in their life. And that is something that has to give us pause to think about. So, I've talked about when the sort of the when we did have to isolate at home in those early days of the pandemic, when we were asked not to go out except for any essential activity, and most of you know we closed down our restaurants, many stores, although we didn't officially close them in BC, they closed anyhow, and a lot of us were at home with another person. A spouse, maybe our children, maybe our adult children, but disproportionately, the older adults, particularly those over 80, were at home alone. So they weren't able to go out the way they might normally do, to go to their senior center or the swim aquafit that they would go to. And that actually was the only interaction that they had. And so I believe that through this pandemic, we've learned a lot, not just about a virus called, what is it, CoV-2, the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19. And we've learned lots about that. And we've learned lots about systems that we have in place and where they're resilient and where they're weak. But we've learned a lot about ourselves, I think. And in learning a lot about ourselves, I think we've learned more about other people. And I think that when it comes to seniors and older adults, I think as those of us who are younger, or really younger, in the case of many of the faces, not all that I'm seeing on the screens, I think that will cause us to be more understanding, more empathetic, engage more. Many of us have had the time now to talk and have conversations with the older adults in our life that we didn't have the time for before. And that's important. One of the things I talk about a lot when people talk about the isolation and loneliness of seniors, and I emphasize isolation is a different thing from lonely. You can be isolated. We're going to isolate the variables to find out what the pattern is. Isolation in and of itself doesn't mean loneliness, and loneliness in and of itself doesn't mean you're isolated. And no case is that better proven than when you look at long-term care, where people are not isolated. They have people around them all the time, yet some of them are profoundly lonely. And they're lonely because they're surrounded by other people, but those people aren't engaging with them in meaningful conversations, not the superficiality of, how are you feeling today? Um, what do you think of the weather? Really meaningful conversations of asking people about their opinions on things and their perspective and taking the time to listen. Because one of the things that happens with older adults that we don't necessarily appreciate is that the 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 time it takes to have the conversation is longer than it was if you'd had that same conversation 30 or 40 years ago. And one of the things I like to one of the examples I use to illustrate this is that when you look at a 90-year-old walking across the street, their body has slowed down, but you can see that they're going to get from one side of the street to the other. They're going to take a little longer to do it, but they can still do it. For many, the mind is the same. They're going to take a little longer to get there, but they're going to get there. The difference is we can't see that working around in the mind. We can't see the cognitive equivalent of walking across the sidewalk. And so what do? We assume they aren't going to get there. We jump in, we finish the sentence, we move on to the next topic. We think, oh, they don't understand. We start to get embarrassed because there's this pause of time. And we are not a society that deals well with vacuums of silence. And yet that is, in fact, what we need to allow. We need to allow that space, that vacuum of silence, for want of a better term, for people to formulate their thoughts, which take maybe a little longer, and really engage in a way that's meaningful. Because, at 85 or 90 or 95, you can still understand when somebody's blowing you off, just like you can at 25 and 35, right? We don't think you can, though. And so that's why it's important to remember. And so when we get back to gathering around the big family table at Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter, and you've got your mom there or your grandma there, think about and observe whether the conversation is between everybody else at the table. Is the older adult actively engaged in the conversation? Or are we talking around them and feel we've done our part because we've invited them to the dinner? That can actually have a more detrimental impact on a person than not being at the table at all. Being at the table and being made to feel like you don't belong. And I can appreciate that some of the people on this call can understand this, is actually worse than not being at the table at all. And so those are sort of the kinds of things that I hope we can all start to think about. And as I say, I am so pleased that you have included in your discussion the topic of seniors. That is how we are going to move forward and become more inclusive, is when the people who aren't seniors, the really young people, start to show the concern and empathy. And this pandemic, I think, has been a bit of a catalyst for that. So I really do want to thank you so very much. And I don't know what you want to do next, if that's it, or if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. And I guess the muting and unmuting of me is in your hands.
Thank you so much for your speech, Isabel. I'm really inspired seeing you work on the weekends. It kind of goes to show the kind of effort it requires to inspire social change. And you've really shown that. Thank you so much for illuminating the role of empathy, talking about the difference of isolation and loneliness, and overall giving us a better perspective into the issue of isolation and loneliness, specifically for seniors. So thank you so much for your time here today. I thoroughly enjoyed your speech.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. A huge round of applause for Miss Isabel McKenzie. If you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to type it out in the chat just so we don't have a whole mess going on over here. And I'm sure Miss Isabel McKenzie would be happy to answer your questions. Awesome.
Now, I don't know how to do the chat box, so you'll have to, I'm going to trust you to tell me if there's a question there.
All right, I will do.
Thanks so much, Isabel. Just really enjoyed hearing your speech, and I'm sure we can all learn something from her, not only her, but also just the experiences of seniors and how important it is to address the issue like she mentioned. I think we're going to move on to the next speaker now. So if you have any questions, again, Arya said you can mention it in the chat box and Isabel would be happy to answer it for you. So next, we are very excited to introduce Bremiela de Guzman, who is our very own Miss Canada 2020 and also Miss British Columbia 2019. She actively serves her community to raise awareness about several issues, and she's also an incredible role model to her followers. She preaches diversity, representation, inclusivity, so we will play her video now.
Hi, my name is Bramiela, and I'm the reigning Miss Canada 2020. I'm so excited to be a part of this year's Beyond the Conversations National Walk and Talk to End Social Isolation event. As you're aware, we're in the middle of a pandemic. And to say that the past few months have been filled with challenges would be an understatement. Since the onset of this novel coronavirus, we've all had to self-isolate or quarantine and break away from our routines and be away from our loved ones. Many of us may be experiencing loneliness and mental health struggles during these times because of the many changes we've had to deal with so suddenly. Sadly, this is also a reality lived by many long before COVID-19. Many people with intellectual disabilities are no strangers to loneliness, isolation, and exclusion. They may experience many barriers, physical and or invisible, that prevent them from full participation in our communities. Sometimes it's our own attitudes and beliefs that reinforce these barriers when we should really be breaking them down. While some of us have found creative and modern solutions to staying connected during these difficult times, I urge you to think about our seniors and our folks with intellectual and physical disabilities whose challenges may result in accessibility issues. As a facilitator working with youth and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities, it is unfortunately common to see the individuals that I work with long for friendships and meaningful connections. Far too often, they suffer from loneliness and become vulnerable to being taken advantage of. This has to end. Everyone deserves a place or a sense of belonging. I believe we are stronger as a community when everyone is included. While I understand the importance of raising awareness, it is time for us to move beyond the conversations and take action. Together, I know we can build inclusive and accessible communities. So if you believe in a world that is free from social isolation, show your support by walking to end social isolation this week and joining us at our virtual event this coming Saturday. See you then. Bye.
All right, a round of applause of emoji reactions, everyone. We thank Bremiela so much for sharing her story, and it honestly was amazing that her and Isabel McKenzie's ideas also kind of matched up with this advocating for seniors. So we loved it and really appreciate it. If you have any thoughts and comments, please share it in the chat box. So we would love to hear from you.
Awesome. Now, a question addressed to Isabel from one of the participants was, how can participants that want to get involved with seniors advocacy get involved with it? So if you'd like to answer that, please take a second to do so. That would be awesome.
Okay, sorry about that. Good question and thank you. So the best advice to give would be if you're in British Columbia, is everybody on this call in British Columbia?
I think
Yes?
most of us
Okay.
can.
So if you, a very simple thing, call 211 or go to the website BC211, and you'll find an opportunity to volunteer through a program called Safe Seniors, Strong Communities. And it will match you up. It will ask you where you live. And you will, in a few short days, get a contact through email, I believe, or phone call from a local agency where you live that works with seniors. And they'll be able to direct you. There's all kinds of things that are happening right now. There's some volunteer activities that aren't happening during COVID that you might be, will come back post-COVID, but virtual visiting, phone calls. We're having seniors. We're making phone calls to keep them connected, doing some grocery drop-offs, doing some meal drop-offs. It's an amazing activity out there right now of people coming forward to volunteer and help seniors. So that's what I would recommend you do.
Thank you so much for that answer. I hope that helped to answer your question to the participant that asked that question. Now we will be moving on to our next speaker for the afternoon, the ever charismatic Dr. Santa Ono. Now, Dr. Santa Ono is famous for a couple of things. He's the Vice Chancellor and President of the University of British Columbia, where a couple of us here on call study. And he's also famous for his bow tie and charisma, right? But aside from that, Dr. Santa Ono is actually a huge mental health advocate as well. He's been sharing his story openly with anyone who's willing to listen, and will be doing so in front of us today as well. So please help me in welcoming Dr. Santa Ono.
Hello, I'm Santa Ono, President and Vice Chancellor of the University of British Columbia. I'd like to thank everyone who's participating in this year's Walk and Talk to End Social Isolation virtual event. Social isolation, especially among young people, was a growing problem even before the restrictions imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Canada's youth are facing increasing challenges, such as student debt, an uncertain employment market, the fragmentation that social media can cause, an increasingly fragile environment, and many other issues. All of these pressures are contributing to growing social isolation, loneliness, and mental health issues. And of course, the COVID-19 pandemic has greatly increased the problem of social isolation. So we've had to stay apart from our friends, our families, and our communities in order to avoid spreading COVID. Just at the time young people need the support of their communities most, they find their connections restricted. Yes, we can reach out to our loved ones and our peers through Zoom and other technologies, but it's not the same. Social isolation and loneliness have reached epidemic proportions in our society and are contributing to a rise in mental illness, but they can be beaten. The first step is to start speaking out without fear of stigma. While physical health is easy to measure and talk about openly, mental health is under the surface and often not talked about at all. This prevents people from asking for the help they desperately need. That's why we need to remove the stigma around discussing mental health issues. I can speak from personal experience. When I was young, I twice tried to take my own life. I was 14 years old the first time. I was desperate and I was depressed about how I was doing in school. I'm very grateful I woke up the next day. Several years later, as a young adult, I again tried to take my own life. I was very depressed because I tried to get an experiment to work for several months, and it seemed like every single time I tried to experiment, it wouldn't work. I struggled with mental health issues throughout my years at the University of Chicago, McGill, as a faculty member at Johns Hopkins and Harvard University. But I kept those struggles to myself, and it was a mistake. There was a stigma around mental illness that made me reluctant to seek help. Looking back, I feel very fortunate to have eventually received the medical and psychological support I needed to recover. For the last 28 years now, I've been symptom-free. A big part of the balance in my life is that I have a loving family and they're always there for me. If there's any lesson in my own story, it's that if you have the proper counseling and support and medical attention, it is really possible for you to move past that and to move back into a functioning life. I'd encourage anyone experiencing social isolation or loneliness to reach out to your loved ones, to your doctor, to your community, and the many supporting organizations wishing to help, as evidenced by this event, such as Beyond the Conversation. Don't be ashamed to do so. And if you are concerned about the impacts of social isolation and loneliness, I'd encourage you to reach out to others with kindness, friendship, and community, and to consider becoming part of an action-based solution by volunteering with the many organizations ready to help, such as Beyond the Conversation. As British Columbia's Provincial Health Officer, Dr. Bonnie Henry says, be kind, be calm, and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ono, for your speech. Now, I understand that a couple of these stories might be difficult or uncomfortable to listen to, but I ask that we all take inspiration from this instead of focusing on the negative aspects of the story, because that's what these speakers are really here for. They're here to show you that, despite all these circumstances that they might have faced, they can push through, and in that, so can we all. And our next speaker for the afternoon will be speaking to us after a 3-minute break. You probably thought that I was going to say they're going to be speaking right after this, right? I think I got you for a second. I see some nods, a couple of smiles. So yes, our next speaker, Dr. Desiree Dickerson, will be speaking to us after a short 3-minute break where you can get water, go to the washroom, do whatever you'd like. But make sure to come back, because then not only do we have Dr. Dickerson, but we also have one of our own members, Manjeet Thandi, and the awesome raffle happening right after, which you will have to be present for in order to win a prize. So I'd encourage you to come back. With that being said, I will see you in 3 minutes' time.
All right. I think that's break time up. I hope everyone's back. Hope you had a sip of water and ready to get the event back on the road. So welcome back everyone to the Walk and Talk to End Social Isolation 2020. I just want to take this time again to thank our sponsors for contributing to this event. The sponsors for today are GNF Financial Group, Nestor's Market, Forerunners, Cactus Club Cafe, and Ernest Ice Cream. This event would not have been possible without them, so thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you for that sponsorship reminder, Apik. We have awesome sponsors that have helped us create this event, and we are thankful for them for sure. Now, our next speaker for the afternoon, like I mentioned earlier, is a member of our community. Her name is Manjeet Thandi. And you know what? Before I introduce her, I'd like her to share her story, and then I'll talk a little bit about who she is and what she does. So a round of applause for Manjeet Thandi, ladies and gentlemen, please. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Manjeet Thandi. I would like to share a personal story of my life in a short version. I actually was born and raised in India, and I came here in the late 60s. When I was growing up in India, I had a big family over there, aunts, cousins, grandparents. But I always had this feeling that I didn't really have a voice. I did not belong and nobody cared. So I was feeling totally lonely and isolated, even though I was surrounded by so many people. So when I came to Canada, I was put in grade 7 without knowing any English and it was such a cultural shock. Throughout the first year, I used to cry often, and I did not really share any of my experiences with my parents, thinking that my dad might go and report to the teacher, and then I will be in a bigger trouble. Because at times I was being bullied and even physically attacked to the point that a boy, a classmate of mine, he tried to push me off the bridge as I was walking home after school. And it was snowing, and underneath there was a stream. So I held on to it, to my dear life. But I did not tell my parents because, again, as I said, I did not want it to cause any trouble for them or for myself. And so on daily basis, I was having such a hollow feeling that I'm no one. I'm a loner and I have no friends. But with my parents' encouragement, I stayed in school and I went to high school. And then unfortunately, I came to Vancouver and started grade 12 here at John Oliver. And at John Oliver at that time was one of the biggest school with so many new or immigrants, I can say. And again, I came here as, as a new student without having any friends. So again, I had a very tough year and feeling totally isolated. Then I went on to university, became a teacher. And even in university, I would go attend my classes, then come straight home, feeling that I have no one to talk to. I did my assignments, submitted them, and I tried my best, but I didn't really have very many friends. And so I was feeling very lonely inside, and the feeling was getting intensified by the day. And then also afterwards, I got married. I have 4 kids, and now they're all grown up. and they have very good careers. So my attention went on there. I want to see them successful. Therefore, I try to put a false, false front and try to look very strong in their eyes because I did not want to affect their growth, their mental and their physical health whatsoever. I wanted them to thrive. So I try to support along with my husband to the best of our abilities. But the feeling, the nagging kind of feeling, as if something was eating me up from the inside, it never went away. As a matter of fact, it was getting worse. Then when my daughter became a psychiatrist, then I think at that time I was feeling the readiness inside of me to make a difference in my life. I spoke with her, and then luckily she recommended a psychiatrist who was her own professor. I went to him under his guidance and use of medication and therapy. I was able to, get in touch with myself. And I started feeling a little better inside, better relaxed. And then as the journey went on, I started seeing the beauty in nature, beauty in people. And I did not hesitate to greet people as I went for walks because it somehow made me see the smile. And somehow those eyes of people spoke to me that, hey, you're not alone. We are here for you. And then what happened was I ended up meeting Amy Peacock beyond the conversation. And she invited me to join the society, which I did for the past 3 years. And boy, what an opportunity it has given me to make friends and to have that trusting relationship with others, and also to experience some personal development. It has given me sense of belonging and also a group that I could speak to in case I need to talk to them about anything, about my suffering or about my success. So it has been a long journey for me, but it's a blessing to have a society or to belong to such a society that is trying their best to make a real difference in people who are challenging social isolation and feeling lonely. It has given me a voice, a very strong voice. And somehow I feel connected, I feel grounded. And now when I volunteer or I participate in the activities, that makes me feel that I am contributing to make this world a better place for all human beings. And I encourage you to look into it beyond the conversation and see what it has to offer. And the groups, they meet online nowadays. And it's amazing how far they have come along. People have learned to speak, to share their ideas, and to develop their interests and make friendships and even much more. And for me, I will just to recapture my feeling back in India, like when I came here. When I came here, to me, it almost felt like a young tree being pulled or yanked out of its roots from the original ideal type of soil and transplanted into absolutely new soil. with different atmosphere, different climate, different culture. So for me, it has been a really tough journey, but with encouragement and somehow with forming connections, I am able to speak to you and request you to please see hope, be hopeful and look into our website, and it has a lot to offer. So good luck with your journey. And when I talk to people, to me, it's almost like I am healing myself as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Manjeet, for sharing your story. Now, Manjeet has worked with the organization for a while. In fact, she's been around longer than I have. And to me, she's an example of true strength, like all our other speakers today, because true strength, in my opinion, lies in being able to be vulnerable and being able to share one's truth with anyone openly. And Manjeet, like our other speakers today, is a living example of that. So thank you, Manjeet, for doing what you do and for being who you are. Now that brings us to the next event for this afternoon, perhaps something that you all have been waiting for, our raffle draw. All right, let's get this rolling. We have 5 wonderful prizes to hand out to 5 wonderful people that are on call today. And to get us started, I will be announcing the first prize, which is, drum roll please. I need to see hands moving before I can start announcing these prizes, please.
Drum roll.
I don't see hands. I don't see hands. I don't see hands. I don't see hands. All right, I'm starting to see more hands. The first prize for today is a gift card from the Juice Truck. All right, who is it gonna be? Okay, could you help me pick a winner, please?
Yes, I'm randomizing now, and the winner is Yuri.
All right, congratulations, Yuri. You have now won a Juice Truck gift card. Will it make you the richest person in the world? No, it will not, but it might.
It will make you happy.
Yeah, it will definitely make you happy, and that's what life's all about. Right? Forget about money. It's all about happiness, because that's why we're here. Now, there's 2 options for how you can receive the gift card in the interest of social distancing. You can either have it mailed to you, or you can pick it up at a location of your choice. Now, how we're gonna do this is that we're gonna ask you to email this email address. I'm just putting it on the chat right now. It's contact@beyondtheconversation.ca. So if you email that email address with your preference, whether you'd like it mailed to you or you'd like to pick it up at a location, we will have the gift card delivered to you. Awesome. That brings us to our second prize for the afternoon. Again, I'd like to see a drum roll / shake of hands, please. Can we have that again? Can we have that again? Can we keep that energy coming, please? All right. Thank you so much. Our second prize for this afternoon, and it's wonderful, is a gift card, again, from Forerunners. It's a little bit different than the Juice Truck, right? And again, Apek, I'll need your help picking a winner from those present here today.
Yes, the winner is Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, congratulations on the gift card to Forerunners. I hope you like running. If you don't, I definitely recommend it. It's very relieving, very relaxing. 10 on 10 would recommend. So definitely check it out. Again, the same thing applies to you as well. Please email contact@beyondtheconversation.ca as to whether you'd like it mailed, whether you'd like to pick it up, and where to mail it or pick it up. Again, we have another gift to give out on this raffle draw. The third gift. Drum roll, please. Or is that getting tiring? Give me some. All right, our third prize for this raffle draw is going to be an Earnest ice cream gift card. And ice cream is always good. Right? Summer, winter, whatever you want. You could take someone on a date. You could go by yourself, do your thing. So, Apek, could we please have a winner from those participants present here today?
Yes, the winner is Tanya.
Tanya, congratulations on winning the Earnest ice cream gift card. Now, I don't know what your favorite flavor is, but you could get it for free now. I hope you're happy about that. Again, please email contact@beyondtheconversation.ca with what you'd like, either mail or pick up, and where you'd like it. All right, our second last prize for this raffle draw. It's getting close, people. It's getting close. One more drum roll, please.
Roll.
Keep it coming. I like the suspense. It's so much fun. Again, it's another gift card from Forerunners for our next runner. Apek, could you help us pick a winner, please?
Yes, the winner is Andrea.
All right, congratulations, Andrea. You got a gift card from Forerunners today. You could probably join Yuri on your runs when she well, that should be fun, right? Again, Andrea, please email contact@beyondtheconversation.ca with your preference, so mail or pickup, and where you'd like it. Our last prize for this raffle draw. Who's it gonna be? I don't
What
know.
is it? What is it? I'm curious to know.
I'm trying to create suspense. Give me a second. So again, drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. We have last prize today, and it is a gift card from Ernest Ice Cream one more time. So, who are we gonna give out free ice cream to?
We are giving it to the winner, Mark.
Mark, congratulations. You can now get your favorite sundae, ice cream, or whatever it is you want from Ernest Ice Cream for free. Again, please get in touch with contact@beyondtheconversation.ca with your preference and where you'd like your gift card delivered.
Wait, hold on, Arya. We have a message from our wonderful Trevor here. He says that if the participants aren't here in the meeting, then we'll have to draw again. So I know Andrea is here. I'm not sure if Yuri was here. I don't know if I see Elizabeth either.
Do we have?
I don't think Elizabeth is here either, unless they came with a different team.
Elizabeth going twice. Elizabeth going thrice, and Elizabeth's prize is back on the table. Well,
It's like what's the name of that thing? I'm forgetting. Anyways, we'll do it again. Elizabeth was for Forerunner's card winner. We'll do it again.
All right, so you already know the prize. Everyone else has a shot again at the Forerunners prize. So, okay, who's it going to be?
It's James!
James! Congratulations. Is James on call with us today?
I think so. I think I saw him earlier.
James, I see you on call. So again, if you'd like to get your prize either mailed or pick it up anywhere you'd like, please get in touch with contact@beyondtheconversation.ca.
Yes, James here.
Awesome.
Right. I think with Yuri as well, we'll have to do it again.
All right, what did Yuri win?
Yuri won the juice truck card winner.
Oh, my bad. Okay, cool. So the juice truck card is again back on the table. Could you please have the picture?
Yes. Oh my God, it's my mom.
What? Congratulations.
Can I give it to her? But she's not on call. It's okay. We'll give it to someone else.
Okay. I guess that's all on the table again then.
All right. It is Alita. Is that person here?
We have Alita on call. I don't see Alita on call.
Oh yeah, I see.
We have Alita on call. Awesome. Congratulations, Alita. You just won a gift card to the juice truck because Apek's mom is not here with us today.
And I don't know if Tanya is here either.
Is Tanya here?
I don't think so. I think we'll have to do that again.
All right. Okay. Wow, this is getting fun and what did Tanya win?
She got the Ernest ice cream.
All right. Free ice cream for another person. Apek, help us pick a winner, please.
Oh, got my mom again. Nope. Next one.
Are you trying to rig this? No, I'm kidding.
I'm not.
Oh, just to clarify how we're doing this is we've got numbers assigned to each participant and we're using a random number generator. So we're not in fact trying to rig it. I'll be honest. I'll just try to make it.
Yes. We got Linda, but I don't know if Linda's here.
All right. Is Linda?
Okay, next. Sorry if you're coming with a different name. Oh wait, is the person with the emoji, is that Linda? No, I think her name is Nicole. Never mind. Sorry, this is taking some time.
Do we pick another winner then?
Analogen, is that person here? Nope. Next. Elise.
Congratulations, Elise. Is that ice cream?
That is ice cream, yes.
Congratulations on the free ice cream.
You and your friend can do that together. Yay.
Congratulations, guys. You guys get free ice cream. Again, please get in touch with contact@beyondtheconversation.ca to claim your prize, whether you like it delivered or mailed to your address. Awesome.
Also, wait. Sorry. I don't think Mark is here either.
All right. Do we have...
Mark also got Ernest ice cream. If you're here, please message. But going once, going twice, going 3 times. Nope. Next person. Okay. Oh my God, it's like the same people who aren't here are getting lucky. Should have come here, man.
Really should have.
Kira? Kira is here or no? No.
No. No, we
Next.
are putting up your hand. Anybody else?
Clara, is Clara here?
Clara?
No. Ah, sorry, this is so stressful. Oh, that's my mom again.
That's all right. How about we just keep this prize for ourselves since the winners aren't
Just saying, pick your mom again, pick your mom again, and then they picked your mom. I was like, wow.
it's all right. I mean, if our winners aren't here today, if this is only going to go on and on, maybe we can just cancel them.
Should I give one to one of the volunteers as well?
I mean, sure.
That'll be fun.
I think
I'll
it's
choose.
one of our speakers.
Ooh.
Hey, Apik.
Yeah.
That's like I can, because I guess not everyone's name here was on the list on Eventbrite, so I can just make a list and send that to you.
True. I think we have one person left, so.
Who's that one person?
It's Mark. Mark isn't here. Oh wait, Analgen.
Someone just joined us.
Joined us. They were one of the winners. We can
And
give
you
the
win a
earnest
win.
ice cream to them.
Sure, why not?
Analgen, you're here today. You won earnest ice cream.
Okay, I'm gonna go get some of my friends. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Awesome.
Oh, she was watching us on YouTube.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, you won earnest ice cream. Contact us at, what is it again, Arya? Contact at beyondtheconversation.ca. All right.
Can we post that email up again in chat for the newcomers?
Yes.
Yes, Anarjin, your prize was redrawn, but no worries. You came just on time to claim the last one. Well done. It's your lucky day. You get free ice cream. I love that, honestly. With that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of our raffle draw. To all our lucky winners, congratulations. Again, friendly reminder, please get in touch with contact@beyondtheconversation.ca. I think it's been embedded into your memory now that I've said it around 600 times. Just let us know if you'd like to pick it up or get it delivered by mail, whatever works best for you, and where to deliver it to. Now, with that, I would like to introduce our founder, the person who brings all the energy we have and who has brought us together here today. A huge, huge round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen, for Ami Peacock.
Woo! Ami!
All right. Can you hear me? Yeah?
Yes, Ami,
okay.
we can hear your
Great.
beautiful voice.
Well, thank you very much, Apik and Arya, for emceeing this, and it's such a pleasure to actually watch the two of you taking on this challenge. So thank you so much, and any successful event, you know, there are the team behind it. So I would actually like to take a few minutes of our time together to really appreciate the team who work really hard to put this event together. So Trevor, if you are here, actually, Sina, if you could spotlight Trevor, Tim, and for their great efforts and putting this together. And they really work very hard to put this together. And so thank you, Tim and Trevor. And also Candice is here as well. Candice helped us with securing our amazing speakers, and without the group of people who really um, rally behind us and believe in the cause that we are trying to address, this would not be possible. And so I want to acknowledge all of you, for Neil and Manjeet and Adila who spoke. I want to acknowledge that this is the cause that we all come to support and come to really um, pursued, because we know that matters. It matters to the people who are watching this and with us, and also after this, people that are going to be watching. And I wanted to say that I am inspired to work alongside you. You have been so generous with your time, your energy, and social isolation and loneliness, especially during COVID-19. It really spotlights the the passion for the team that I have come to work with. And so I want to acknowledge all of you, each and every one of you. Thank you so much for doing this work. Thank you for the participants who came and participating with us through Zoom, and those of you um, on Facebook and or watching us during our live streaming. Thank you so much for supporting our cause. This is the cause that it is not just belong to Beyond the Conversation, but it is belong to you. We're asking you, we're requesting of you to, if you haven't yet visited or made phone calls to people that you know who maybe are feeling isolated and experiencing loneliness, reach out to them, as Santa Ono said earlier, as well as Isabel McKenzie and Brimiela, and as well as Manjit and Deirdre said earlier. We encourage you to go out uh, and invite and reach out to people who are in your community or maybe in your building. Reach out to them, let them know that you care. The work will Beyond the Conversation is unique because of the people that we have come to work with, and the people who are actually moving us forward to what it is today. And so I think if I could really encourage one thing, it would be keep loving people, keep letting them know you care, keep investing your time. As Mother Teresa said, one of her quotes, she said that her alone cannot change the world. And I will say this, just myself, I cannot change the world. But together with each and every one of you, we can change the world. And by changing the world, we are also changing ourselves, as Manjit said. And for your energy and your generosity, I want to say thank you so much. I love each and every one of you. You have been an inspiration to me, and it keeps me waking up in the morning and looking forward to my day because I get to work with you. And that is an amazing and a wonderful experience to know that there are people who cares. So thank you everyone so much for all of the time that you have invested, and the joy as well as the tears that we have all invested together. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Ami. I think I speak from everyone, to be honest, to say that we all love you as well, and the message that you send out, and for starting this organization to support such an amazing cause sorry, forgetting to speak at this point in the afternoon, but for ending social isolation and, just encouraging friendships and community. And I think it's such an amazing thing. Arya, do you have anything to say?
I have lots to say. Honestly, just I'm gonna keep it short though. Let's all give a huge round of applause, not just for me. And
Yes.
clapping. I want to see you clapping on this one because this round of applause is not just for me, it's for you. for being here today, for taking part in Walk and Talk, and for doing what we do. Thank you all. A huge round of applause for all of us, please.
Yes, thanks Tim, Trevor, thanks Sina, thanks everyone for making this event happen. All right, I think, are we turning off our live stream now? Or are we doing questions, Ami?
So question, if you have questions, we can do it in through chats, and you can also email us through contact@beyondtheconversation.ca. I also wanting to quickly mention that there is another speaker that we posted his video in our YouTube because of the timing. Um, so you can always, his name is Al Itmansky, and brilliant speaker and also an author. So watch his video in our YouTube, and his information is in there as well.